Tonight we're going to jump into something near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk about video games and 10 of the most profitable franchises of all time on this episode of The Twisted 10.
Welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
You guys gave me enough shit. I didn't do it again.
What'd you do? Wait, what? What happened?
What's up, gentlemen?
Oh, gentlemen, yeah.
Hello, Lord Wilson.
I'm going to keep doing it if I'm going to get that response.
Hello.
It just feels good.
Mr. Poston.
Hey, Ron. I'm not going to reciprocate the accents because you guys make fun of my accent, so...
I like your accent.
No, you don't. You just like it, mate, because I get you laughing every single time you hear it. But anyway, yeah, welcome to the show. We have another a fun-filled Twisted 10 episode ready for you guys tonight. So
how do you know? Is it your list?
That's a good point. It's not my list. I am not. Oh, by the way, I'm Adam, and I am not hosting the list tonight. Ron, what about you?
I'm Ron. I'm not hosting, and I do not know if it's fun-filled because I don't know what the list is.
Well, I'm Josh. I do know that it's fun-filled, and I'm your host.
And he gave us a teaser because we're hosting it in live stream. So
he didn't give us a teaser. We misunderstood.
No,
the
live
for the
stream.
title of the live stream.
Title. Okay.
So
Yes.
we're getting nerdy tonight. That's what our live stream is called because we try to title the live stream somewhat apropos with what the host is doing. But of course, the other two hosts live in the studio don't know.
Are we getting white and nerdy?
Wow, was that...
Weird Al.
Oh, God damn it.
I was like, why?
There we go. All my buttons are lighting up over here.
He just turns the music up so no one can hear what I say.
I face smashed. Yes.
She's like, beep.
Oh, man. Oh. No, yeah, no. It is.
No,
No, oh my God, shit.
no.
We are getting white and nerdy tonight, Ron.
That's gonna be awesome.
That's for sure. So, by the way, I started listening to, speaking of white and nerdy, I don't know if this makes me nerdy or not, but I've been listening to Harry Mack. Do you know who that is?
No.
He's a rapper, but he specializes in freestyle, and he's got a really cool gimmick. So this isn't a plug for him or anything. He's got like fucking 700,000 followers, so it would be a plug for us for him to ever drop the Twisted 10. Anyway, he goes on like chat apps, like where you can round robin chat type things. Like Omegle is one that he uses. And what he does is he gets viewers, like the other person he connects with, he gets their permission to record it, and then he gets 3 words from them, any random words, and he freestyle raps, and fits those words, and it's pretty fucking impressive. Does that make me white and nerdy?
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool.
That makes you someone who appreciates art.
Did I get some street cred for that?
What on, Joe?
Yeah, I actually
still don't know who Harry Mack is, so no.
So for super nerdy and nerding out, I have a little bit of after show.
Oh, really? You're teasing it early.
Teasing it super early about super nerding out. Like I have now taking on a hobby that, guys, I'm going to look, you know, it's like really super dorky.
Collecting? No, that wouldn't even be nerdy.
You're so close. You almost nailed it.
So how is your 50 U.S. states coin collection?
Oh, it's coming along very good. I can't wait to tell you guys about it.
It is a coin collection. You're probably right.
No, it is.
Is it really?
That's what I said. When you said stamps, I was like, holy shit, he's like one little level off.
Yep.
Like where I buy the coins, right next to it, there's some stamps I can get you guys. You're interested.
That's a step below comic book collecting.
But I'm actually doing it from an investment, a lot of it from an investment perspective. I just actually paid a pretty big chunk for something that is like going to be in a couple years. Like I'll just double my money.
Wait a minute. Did you fall for the infomercials to buy gold coins that are stamped with like Biden's ass or something? I don't know.
No, I did in some of my lookings. I have seen the Trump coin and the Biden coin. Yeah, they do one for every president. But no, I didn't purchase any of that.
That would have been funny.
I saw a guy on Reddit recently. He posted a picture of his collection. He had 1 kilo of like 6 different types of precious metal.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, a kilo? Wait, say that? I don't understand.
A kilogram?
A kilogram.
A bar.
In weight.
A bar.
A key, dog.
I was expecting.
What down, Joe? I got a key for you.
I was expecting a cocaine brick full of coins. I didn't.
No,
I didn't
just
quite...
just straight bars of precious metals.
Perfect.
And the guy was like, "I'm just gonna hold on to this," and like
that's kind of what I'm talking about, but through coin. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
All right, cool.
I had a dream one time that I owned like I had to get like or during a hurricane evacuation or something we were having to evacuate our home from when we were living in another home, that I had to go and like open up a special cubby and grab my 3 full-size gold like bricks, like those fucking
like a movie prop.
Yeah, like those
That's
things.
Cool.
I thought that I for sure, and then I realized I'm like that would be worth like $150,000 if I had 3 of those things.
Oh,
so,
easy, probably more than that.
and I'm like, damn, maybe I should go look to see if that cubby exists. It didn't exist. It was in the garage underneath like the water heater. It wasn't there. I checked. I checked a lot.
What a
fucking
find,
gold is
though.
calling me.
What a find.
Yeah. This house still has fucking cubbies.
Any way you can segue from the stuff we were talking about to what you're gonna do?
No, I'm just gonna take it. So
Okay.
I got some cool stuff going on in my life right now. I'm gonna use the dad joke, Ron. I'm unemployed right now.
Loser.
I'm a leech on society.
I knew you were a bum.
I know. I am the fucking worst.
And you can go get $11 at McDonald's, you lazy ass.
Josh is the master of this because I've known Josh for 12 years now, something like that.
2007.
Not as long as you've known me. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's right.
saying.
But I didn't get an invite to your wedding.
Boom! Roasted.
Wow.
Got an invite to both of his. Anyway, sorry, spoke the
funny.
unspeakable.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, but Josh is the master of this. When he quits a job, when he gets a career advancement opportunity to change where he's being paid.
Excellent.
Every time he's ever done this, he's worked in like 1 or 2 weeks of unemployment time to just vacation, just to have a no strings attached, complete disconnect from the old job, waiting to reconnect to the new job. And I got some time to do it. Of course, this time it's not really vacation. It's more like moving and prepping the house and stuff.
Man, we've been pretty lucky. So I'm on that vacation right now. So a lot of the prep and stuff was done. We packed out of our house to get it ready for our open house a couple weekends ago. More than that now, 3 weeks ago, whatever. So we moved everything into a pod, and our pod is sitting in a warehouse somewhere. I don't even know where the warehouse is at. So most of our stuff is basically in storage. So right now, I don't have anything to do. I've just been playing a bunch of video games. I've just been sitting around hanging out with the kids a bunch, which is cool. I hung out with Margaret's nephews today, wife's nephews today. That was neat. They're getting old enough I can play video games with them, which, by the way, I demoralized a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old over some Virtua Fighter. So
Nice.
Just want to say reigning Vance-like champ. Just throwing that out there. Yeah. No,
Vance-like is a name, Ron. It's not a game. It
I
wasn't
had no
like a
idea what he
Hadouken
meant
move.
by that.
I'm sorry, that's my wife's maiden name.
Oh,
so that's her.
Roger
that's her
that.
family. Yeah. So
And the ironic part is that this is convoluted. His wife's brother,
Okay. His
To me-
brother-in-law.
right. But the genes that Josh's son inherited look like his brother. Well, his brother, Josh's brother-in-law.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
cute. You can
Makes
see,
sense.
100%.
yeah,
Makes sense.
you can see the facial features.
My son looks way more like my wife's brother than he looks like me. Way more.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely.
Strong family
Yeah.
genes, dude. It's so true though.
That's adorable.
And has his personality, too.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They have the same personality. It's weird.
That's true. And you guys ready for this?
Ready.
And that is a beautiful segue into my list topic for tonight.
There you go.
Yes.
He hard jammed in that segue right there.
I did. So tonight I'm going to be talking about top 10 video game franchises of all time.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah,
Emphasis
this is
on,
awesome.
I'm going to draw one word, franchises. So this
Yeah,
is
I was gonna
important.
ask you to
I say
define
'cause-
that.
When you say franchise, could you define that?
Same thing I said, but echoed by Ron.
Yeah, so it's
Sorry.
He's got 2 years, remember?
At least it wasn't an entire list echoed.
You know what? I take it. I'm gonna have to eat that. I'm not gonna retort that joke. I am gonna eat it.
Sorry.
Oh my
go
god!
go
yeah,
ahead.
so
Josh, you were gonna explain.
We had a little fun beef get thrown out in the after show last week. So I'm gonna check that. Actually, I'm gonna hard throw that in there right now. So before I explain, thank you to Twisted Council for everything they do for supporting the show. You guys rock. It's fun hanging out with you guys on Discord. It's super cool. And thank you to everybody who listens on the live stream. So come on Discord again, listening to us, which is super cool.
It's free to listen.
Yeah, free to listen.
Those are our Discord audience. Sorry.
Sorry. I should have gotten it. It was a good joke. My bad for not getting it at all. Sorry.
Threw Josh off his rocker.
Sorry, Josh. I'll stop laughing. That was a good one.
I just right in the middle of the plug about all of our great things. Adam's talking shit about the show.
Comedy is timing. He couldn't
good.
have waited till after you were
so
done.
Good. It was so good. So anyways, details about that, twist10.com. It's got all the details.
Josh is like, get the fuck out of these plugs. Adam's gonna fuck it up again.
No, we've got so for our Twisted Council, they have the after show, which is just some special council only content that we put out every week, every other week. Actually, it's been every week lately.
Yeah,
we got a lot out there. Yeah, we've been able to really lock that in, which has been nice. Well, so yeah, extra stuff for them. But yeah, details on that, twist10.com. There we go. I feel good.
I almost didn't get this week's show published. When I went to publish it, my computer, it was unresponsive.
Boo.
I could not publish any, like I was 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh fuck, it airs in 1 hour. We release at 3 a.m. Like I cannot even get Windows started. Finally.
That was the Discord message. I remember I woke up and read that. Because you sent us a message like, I'll post it in the morning because
I don't even remember
I'm up
that
too late
message.
and it didn't work.
No, that was for, no, not that one.
The after show.
No, this is for the real show.
That was for the after show.
Yeah, it's for the real show. Anyway, long story short, it was just my antivirus software running a full update, but it never prompted me, never told me, never did anything. Nice. It just fucking did it.
It does that when you push it off for too long.
Oh, yeah, I did push it off too long. Speaking of nerdy.
All right, so video game franchises. I'll just bring it all the way back to that. So this is number 10 on our list is Warcraft. I'll use it as the example.
Okay.
When I say Warcraft, that entails everything from 1994 to now. So more than just the World of Warcraft, more than just WoW, but all of the Warcraft RTS
all the titles
and stuff, board games,
books, all
books,
that.
Yeah, everything.
Okay,
everything that comprises the franchise as a whole.
So that makes sense then. Yeah.
I'll wait to talk about it.
Wow, and that's number 10.
That is number 10.
Holy shit!
No, yeah. How did you categorize the list? Is it like just the top, like the most impressive to you?
It is categorized by the most recent number I could find that franchise has made.
Oh,
so
you backed up real hard data behind your list.
Some of this has come from Wikipedia, and then a handful of links, which I will put in the show notes. I've
tried to figure out a way to do a video game episode, but I've never really found the right angle to do a top 10 video game.
This is a
awesome one.
This is a good one. You could do so many different ones, but this is an awesome
video game franchises sorted by highest grossing value in their lifetime, but that kind of boring. So what I added into it was just facts about these franchises that are interesting or I didn't know. So I'm going to talk about Warcraft, but I'm going to also talk about like things behind the world and the lore that I didn't know that I found going through the list. Yeah.
Funeral Pry, my favorite video of all time.
So good.
Anyway.
So good. So number 10 is the Warcraft franchise, of course. Warcraft franchise,
work.
The most recent number I could find for it was that it has grossed $10.627 billion.
Damn.
It's a $10.6
That's where we're starting.
That's the game that it's like $15 a month to play or whatever.
That's one game inside the Warcraft
inside the whole
World
franchise.
of Warcraft is that way.
One of many.
Josh and I spent 10 years of our life heavily invested.
I know a lot of people that got addicted to that game.
Yeah, I would say.
I'm not saying
I
you
enjoyed
were.
It. Well, no,
I'm saying many
I fit
people
the
get
profile of
addicted.
being addicted. It was I would play it almost every night, and some nights I would play it for 6-8 hours at the time at the sitting. Yeah, it's
giving up sex, food, and sleep to play Warcraft.
Yeah,
World of WoW.
Different kind of rush.
Definitely
kind of rush.
Horde all the way. By the way, just for the listeners out there that are Horde, and if you're an Alliance, unsubscribe. Just kidding.
Or don't. Your city's cool. I like Stormwind. It's pretty. Please stay.
Ron's like, what the fuck is happening?
Do you guys even need me for this episode?
I'm
just playing with you. I'm sure there's some old stuff in there I'll enjoy.
There's going to be a lot in here, and there's one on here that I had actually never heard of. One of the top grossing franchises of all time. I'd never even heard of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. You're not going to guess number 4.
What if Resident Evil is in this list? Anyway.
It is not.
I've never heard of Tomb Raider. No, just kidding. I don't know that Tomb Raider's on the list.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Fuck off with your list.
Those are not big games. Those are not big ones. So
Tomb Raider's not a big game?
Not relatively speaking.
I'll be quiet because I'm probably making myself sound stupid.
No, that's a fair question. It's a fair question.
Them.
To be fair, he started number 10 is World of Warcraft. Well, Warcraft, which encompasses so much. Tomb Raider, it was great. Had movies, had multiple games. I think they've got like 8 games
at
out
least,
or something like that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even come close to touching Warcraft and that whole franchise.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it's
I got
below the other. I mean,
so a couple of fun facts about World of Warcraft.
just World of Warcraft or Warcraft in general?
Warcraft. I'm sorry. Warcraft in general.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's for me. Like I played Warcraft the first couple of RTSs with my dad in the 90s, but then there was nothing, and I just played WoW. So like Blizzard, like it's just. But there's also Hearthstone. I should throw that out there. It's a mobile and desktop card game, and it's like crossplay and everything. It's pretty good. It's a well balanced game. It's fun. And it's free. That helps. Hearthstone's free. And World of Warcraft came out in 2004. So that was cool.
Cool.
So a couple of facts about it. So Vin Diesel and Paul Walker of Fast and Furious fame.
Yes.
Of course.
The late Paul Walker.
The late Paul Walker. They used to play together. They used to play WoW together all the time. Yeah, they were real life friends. They hung out.
No shit.
Yeah. And yeah, so it was. I found the clip of it. It's a boring clip, but it was Vin Diesel and Paul Walker playing, and Vin Diesel posted it on his Facebook page.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then another.
There's a lot of celebrities that play World of Warcraft. Used to play World of Warcraft.
I would imagine so.
A lot of them.
I've got one more.
Call of Duty
this
as well.
one surprised me. Mila Kunis had a WoW addiction. Like she did an interview and like she had to shut it down, uninstall it, cancel her account. She's like, it feels like talking about drugs when I talk about stopping WoW. So I
like her that much more now.
They gave her. There's a place in the world called Lunar Fall, and they gave her. She has an NPC in the world called. It's like Mina Kulis or something, like a very obvious adaptation of her name. But the NPC, when you talk to it, I guess it talks about like everything in moderation, not doing things too much. It's lore appropriate, but yeah, very, very much just on point with her message about like it's an addiction, like handle it.
Gotcha. Were you going to talk about funeral pry at all? I don't know if that was going to be.
No, but we definitely can.
I want to tell Ron the story. Have you ever heard of this thing called funeral pry before? It's spelled Pyre.
I think I've heard you say
Pyre?
those words.
Pyre. Is it pyre?
It's
funeral
pyre.
pyre?
Yeah, I think I've heard you say those words, but I don't know anything of what it is.
So, make a really long story short. This is in like 2010.
Yeah,
maybe 9. Anyway.
Early WoW days.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it was even before that because I was in Colombia, so 2008 or 7. Anyway, this person in real life died, and she was a World of Warcraft player, like a heavy guild member. Guild is a group of other real players who play together. Yeah,
gotcha. I played her on Team Fortress.
She passed away, and she was so beloved inside this server that she played on that they wanted to have an in-game funeral for her. And, that they scheduled it, put it on, these public forums on the internet so people could see it, and they could bring their little character in the game over to where this, somebody like her mother or brother or a family member had logged into her account and was there to receive, the kind words.
Okay.
And whatever. But there were hundreds of people that signed up for this to say, yes, we love this person. We want to come show our respects. And it was very simple. They basically made this little line, a physical line in this game of these little characters that would walk up to this character and bow and say a little word and then take off. So
that's almost creepy, but very cool.
Yeah,
right.
Because they're real connections. Like,
it's
kind of a thing that.
No, I got it. I understand completely.
No, I know you do. Sorry,
here's the thing. The game of World of Warcraft is toxic. All right, meaning in any of these games on the internet, any game that you play is going to have some level of toxicity.
I've heard my son play video games. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But not even that. I'm talking like mischievous level of toxicity. Not just you're going to go, sit on somebody's face and teabag them. That okay, fine, got it. No, this
you can do that in World of Warcraft?
Yes.
Well, you can.
Sign me up.
So the people that were all at this funeral in the game were very obviously in one location and had advertised where they were going to be on the internet. So of course the opposition side, the other side said, you know what, we're gonna go fucking
like raid
kill
a
these
city.
people. We're gonna wreck everybody.
Funeral.
Are you serious?
So
that's so horrible.
The video that somebody made, and kudos for whoever made that, it takes place and you see this, they're playing angelic music while this funeral pyre is happening. And then it cutscenes over to Scatman music with all of these people fucking riding their mounts, coming across.
Just coming to crash.
And then it goes back to the angelic, and then
awesome.
it's back, and then it's back, and back and forth. And then finally they show up, and they're like, well, all the people in line are like, well, what's going well, why aren't they in line? You know, what's going on? And then you just see fucking them unload on this whole
wrecked this entire.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry at that.
So here's the thing.
I feel bad for the
player
family.
that they were showing respects to. The reason so many people were there is she was active in both raiding and the PvP scene.
What is PvP?
Player versus player.
Okay.
Doing exactly what he is just describing.
Okay.
So it's not like an absolute level of disrespect because she went in to do PvP and these are the people she PvP'd with. They're like, fuck that, we're going. And they PvP'd at her funeral. So it's a different type of respect.
She might not have found it a problem. She might have been like, hell yeah.
Yeah, she would have liked the chaos.
Yeah, but that's not what that moment was for originally.
But what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's the judge of that? Who judges if it was appropriate?
I imagine it's not what the people who set it up had in
Oh,
mind.
no,
That's
definitely
what I mean.
not.
They were
That's
so
what I mean.
mad.
But it still worked out. Awesome.
So
it
it's
was great.
the World of Warcraft funeral. It's worth it. Just
I would hate for that to happen
YouTube
in
it.
any real funeral, so it's good that it happened in a digital one.
YouTube it. It is worth the watch. It's an older video, but it's worth the watch.
Okay.
Sorry, Josh.
I got one more Warcraft factoid. There is an unlicensed World of Warcraft inspired theme park. It's called World of Joyland. It's in Changzhou, China. But it's inspired by Warcraft and StarCraft, and the pictures are wonderful. It's an absolute. I mean, it's 100% just. It's a Warcraft StarCraft theme park.
The thing about China is it's a communist country, so they can steal anything. There's no copyright laws that they have to abide by in China, so they can make whatever they want.
There's no international copyright laws?
If they're trying to sell a product internationally, but this is I'm sure a ticket to a theme park inside China. They don't give a shit.
They don't. That's why it's unlicensed. I live with that. But yeah, no, it's
It's awesome though.
Yeah, it's the pictures are really cool. Okay, number 9.
God, you gotta go up. You gotta beat 9 times beat the Warcraft universe. All right.
I will.
All right.
And all of these, except for the one I joked about earlier that I didn't know earlier. I'm surprised by, but I'll explain why it's so valuable later. When I get there. So number 9 is Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I knew this one was going to be on your list. You're a
I mean,
fan.
that's been around since what, the NES games?
Yeah.
Since
the
8
original
since
Nintendo.
8 gigs, right?
8-bit.
8-bit,
old.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's
Since
old.
8-bit graphics.
8 gigs in 1985
that
would have been like a world supercomputer.
World supercomputer, yeah. 8-bit graphics.
Yeah, there's there was an original NES game called Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. That was the first iteration of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, figured it made sense. I thought I saw some NES game.
So it came in at 10.656 billion. So it is only
Wow, that's impressive.
It's only 30 million more than the top number I could find for Warcraft. So it's very possible that these two are kind of reversed. I don't know if this includes the absolute explosive revenue from Final Fantasy 14 or not.
Sure.
So it's bigger than WoW ever was. It's crazy how big Final Fantasy has gotten.
Really? How many
I
players
didn't
play
even
Final
know that.
Fantasy 14?
It's
Because WoW at its heyday was, what, 15 million?
You're looking at me like
that's
I
a good
know.
point.
I have
something
no
like
idea.
that, but they're up over 18 million now.
Holy shit.
Final Fantasy 14 is massive. They're blowing WoW out of the water. WoW's under 10 million now. They're falling apart. Blizzard is falling apart.
Yeah, but we've been saying Blizzard's fallen apart since, what, 2012?
Remember that
2013?
last big game they made?
The expansion
World
for
of
WoW?
Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft.
That might be the point you
2004.
have there.
Yeah, so they're not. Developers are dropping, like, it's in like a current news thing now. Developers are leaving like in droves.
Oh,
Blizzard is
that's too
having
bad.
staffing problems because of the bad. Like their thing, like the
Because
office
they're
has
getting more
gotten
on
to a point.
unemployment. Sorry.
No. Let's see. So it's So that's what I, like you said, I play Final Fantasy 14. That's my current reality escape. It's a lot of fun. It's our mutual friend Sully has a great term for it. He calls it his desert island game because there is so much shit to do in Final Fantasy 14. They're like, if I was on a desert island, there's like 32 classes that I could play up, all in one character. There's like a billion things in the world to do. Anyways, it's a great game. I enjoy it. So I learned while doing this list why it's called Final Fantasy. I'd never looked it up. It was like a pretty quick fact to find, but It was created as a last-ditch effort by Hironobu Sakaguchi.
Sakaguchi.
Making fun of Asian names. Ron, how dare you? That's below you. No, I mean they're shorter.
Oh, thought you meant. Okay, forget it.
So he created it, though, to propel Square into the RPG space.
Propel Square.
Square is the
Enix?
company. Yeah, they weren't Square Enix yet.
Oh,
they
that's
merged
who
with,
became Square Enix? Okay.
Yeah, so it was originally just Square, but he was trying to go out on a career high. I'm just going to make this great RPG. This is a big passion project. I can tell this story, which I'll come back to that. So they had to make some dramatic cuts to the original game. So he said, I can tell this story. I'm going to get Square into a good space. I'm going to retire on a high. I'm going to leave my company in a good place. And like, boom, I'm done. It's Final Fantasy. Boom, this is my swan song. Well, they had to cut, as he put it in an interview, I don't know, whatever. I don't remember when the interview was, but he said that they had to cut 75% of the story that he had written because the technology wasn't there.
Damn.
Yeah, he said they just couldn't do it. So he came back and later wrote the script for Final Fantasy IV as I guess in a lot of tribute to what was pulled out of the first game, which ended up becoming 6 in the States, and it's
so Final Fantasy IV was probably what, PlayStation 2?
Super Nintendo.
Oh wow, I thought it had gotten up.
It didn't come to the States.
There was that many Final Fantasies before we even had PS1. Oh, holy shit!
It may not
7
hurt
was
for the
on
listeners
PS1.
who aren't gamers. Go back to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is a massive. Well, Warcraft in general is the massive multiplayer and in some cases real-time strategy games with ogres and orcs and mutants and different types of creatures set in some other fake make-believe world. Final Fantasy is kind of the same kind, right? You've got RTS as well as...
Man, so the Final Fantasy franchise has been all over the place. They are like a staple in the Japanese RPG market. Like
role-playing
games. JRPG, they are like, you know, one of the handful of kings at the top of that genre. So they definitely hold it down. But they have had Final Fantasy Tactics, which is a tactics style game, which is it's kind of hard to describe it adequately. It's like it's a grid based combat system. So I don't know. It's a tactics style game. If you look up tactics games, they define this new genre. They've had a billion books. They've had board games. I mean, merchandising is all part of this. I'm trying to think. Every Final Fantasy game, save 2, has been in a new universe. So they're all like, every game is like a new world, a new story, and a new reason. Minus some overlapping themes, which I really like. I touched on a couple of these. So Final Fantasy has some concepts like the crystals is something that comes up, and there's these 4 elemental crystals in the world that are always in peril, and you always have to recover or save them, whatever. So it's like they're
hello, Infinity Stones.
4 chicks named Crystal.
Oh, I was thinking Infinity Stones.
Your joke was better than my joke.
Yeah, it really wasn't a joke, just more of a comparison. But.
So yeah, that's fair. So like that always comes back. There's a character named Sid Garland. He's been a recurring character. He's been in every Final Fantasy game except for the first one.
Hey, yo, I'm Sid. I sell shingles. Come see me. Sid Garland. 555-1212. No?
No.
Let's try this. He was a mechanic in his most recent iteration. You got a good Jersey mechanic.
I'm not going to try again. So.
It was good. It was a good accent. So he's shown up. There's a creature called a Moogle that's shown up in every game except for the first one. It's like a little, I don't know, floating white cat thing, whatever. And then there's a couple of others. Biggs and Wedge are characters that reoccur. So those 4 characters, they show up in every story, and they've always been important as plot hooks, but they change. So like Sid's been a mechanic, an airship manufacturer. He's been a tinkerer. He comes back, but he always guides the story when he's there.
We had some tie-in from Discord, by the way, checking in. No, Final Fantasy VII was PlayStation 1. Discord is letting us know.
Oh, he probably said that because Ron asked
about PlayStation 4.
About PlayStation
4.
Fantasy
I thought it was like Final Fantasy 4, and I thought it was like PS2. It was
Gotcha.
It was just Super Nintendo. I was way off.
Yeah,
so.
Final Fantasy 7 was one of the first RPGs on PlayStation 1, and if I see you said that in Discord. So if you are a fan of Final Fantasy, make sure to go check out Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger has Super Nintendo era, same thing, but it had a lot of its developers pulled and put on the Final Fantasy 7 because of funding. They just didn't think Chrono Trigger was gonna blow up and explode, and it panned out because Final Fantasy 7 is the top grossing JRPG of all time.
Damn.
So it is, as a single game from that genre, is the top grossing. They're still kicking that cash horse. I mean, they just they're remaking it. Final Fantasy, or a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, they've done a remake of Final Fantasy 7. Like, all new, same story, everything else is replaced. All systems, engines, everything. So it's...
I assume your list is not going to cover something called Ark, right? The video game called Ark?
No.
Yeah, it's not a franchise type game. The end of the show, when we're all wrapped up, before we close out, I want to throw some cool notes about what my son did with that whole Ark universe.
Nice.
Since we're on that theme, this is a pretty good show to do that with.
Nice. And my last fact about Final Fantasy is Dissidia Final Fantasy was originally called Fighting Fantasy, and it was going to be a Disney crossover. They were chasing like Super Smash Brothers style money to make a fighting game with
cool
Final Fantasy characters, and Disney backed out because they decided they didn't like the idea of Disney characters fighting each other. It was going to be attached to the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So that's another piece of the Final Fantasy franchise. Final Fantasy is so fucking big. There's
the
so
Kingdom
much.
Hearts manga?
Kingdom Hearts franchise, set of games as well. There's 8 games.
It is manga though, right?
They're
Manga Lloyd.
There might be.
I thought there was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's manga again?
Like comic book, like Japanese comic book long form though. Manga people call it, but it's pronounced manga.
It's changing how it's pronounced doesn't tell me anything.
It's Japanese comic books.
So so you see, you know what anime is, right? The Japanese cartoons. Okay, imagine that, but in a book form. That's manga.
Okay.
Many animes are based off manga series. One Piece, whatever, lots of stuff.
Cool.
So,
all right. So number 8.
God, he's taken some. I can't even guess.
I don't want to guess because I just don't want to guess on this one. I just want to hear what it is. You know.
So this one was it's a little behind the scenes. While formatting my list, I managed to drop this one off of my list. So number 8 is the Wii. I know it's a console, not a franchise, and I almost didn't put it on the list because I was a bit torn on this. However, there is a collection of Wii exclusives that you could only get by buying the console, like the Wii Sports games, Wii Bowling, Wii Tennis. So I decided to include it because I thought it was an honorable mention. And I actually got the number for this one was from TitleMax.com. I don't understand their connection to a video game list, but I do have the value. All right, cool. The Wii at the time of writing had grossed $14.8 billion.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And so it's a bit stacked because it's a whole console, but the reason I decided to leave it was because of some of the cool facts about it. So you can now get Wiis for cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Yeah, really
if you
cheap.
even have to pay.
I still have a Wii. I don't know if it even works, but I still have
Those are
one.
great consoles, man.
Yeah.
They are. There's a really great homebrew community behind it, which really opens up a lot of potential behind it. So some of the really neat things about it, there is a blue light around the disc tray, and when you do things on the console, the pattern kind of changes. And a group of players they were like going through menus, cataloging everything that's happening, and they could not figure it out. So they finally put everything together. They sent it to Nintendo, and they got a response. There's still no reason why they did this. That was published by Nintendo. However, the blue LED around the disk drive on the Wii will pulse and fluctuate in the Morse code of the written sound some specific bird makes, like a warbler or something.
What?
I know. That was their response.
That's their Easter egg?
Yeah, so it's not actually connected to anything. It just will occasionally pulse it in the Morse code
So it's not reacting to any kind of in-game play or anything like
That's
that.
fascinating.
Correct. Yeah. So they never explained why they did that. So maybe just some developer was bored and had extra time at work. They did. So I thought that was really...
That is really, really cool. Damn. I love finding Easter eggs and stuff. Like back in the old XL 2007, you could
the
find
old flight sim.
You could find a flight sim. You could find Spy
One of the
Hunter.
cells. Spy Hunter was in one of the cells.
Yeah, there's all these little
I actually
hidden
still
Easter eggs
have the
in software.
NES cart
For Spy Hunter?
for Spy Hunter.
Cool. I have an NES. You want to play sometime?
Hell yeah.
I have a fake NES upstairs.
I have like a stack like this of fucking badass NES games.
I would love a retro day.
I would absolutely bring them. Every single one over would be fun.
Dude, all we got to do is once the studio's finished. Yes, I know, but we can set it up.
We'd like to play before 2081.
Yeah, before this house goes back on the market.
So we'll be playing.
Before this house has to be torn down for
Our retirement
next
homes
house.
are going to be the shit. Have you guys thought about that?
all the games.
When I'm old and I can't fucking move, I'm going
yeah.
to just sit in my chair as a vegetable off in VR Space Egypt, just hunting giant cats or something.
Hey, speaking of Egypt, did you know? Oh, we'll take it off the show. Why?
Yeah.
Now you'll
Oh,
take it off the
you're
show.
tangenting.
Yeah,
quite
it's
a
too
bit.
hard of a tangent. I can't
All
tie
right, cool.
that into video games at all.
So there, as I mentioned, there's still a very active homebrew community, an active mod community for the Wii. There's a guy who recently released the source code for it. So once you hijack your Wii and you set it up so you...
I jack my Wii often. Come on.
Oh,
Come
that
on,
was
you
too
set it up.
easy.
That was
too easy.
the fucking biggest beach ball in your whole script. I know it. I know you're like Adam is going to comment here.
Oh my goodness. Nope, that was right off the cuff, man. I wasn't ready for that one. It was good though. What was I saying?
Jack up the Wii.
Thank you.
Hijack.
So once you get it set up so it can run
Jack it up.
homebrew software and community software, which I cannot tell you to Google because that would be illegal. So don't do that.
I can also say that I didn't pirate my Wii when we were living in Colombia and downloaded ISOs for a bunch of different games and played those games.
Nice.
I didn't do that.
Nice. That was responsible of you.
Yeah. I didn't even need to take the black Sharpie to cover the first line. Long story.
That was a long story.
Only nerds would know that one.
Nerds.
Oh, yeah.
So there was while tearing it apart physically and from its software level, they found a few things they could do. One, the region chip or the region lock was just a chip. So for potential non-gamers out there, if you buy a console in the US, it's set up with a license that's now digital, but it's set up with a license that prevents it from playing games from Japan. So it's region locked. You can't buy games from other regions, and I guess maybe it has to do with pricing control around games. It predates modern consoles by a long shot. I mean, like the Super Nintendo, 1988 when it came out, or 87 when it came out, had it wasn't a very good one, but there was a little plastic pin in the disc slot, so you couldn't put a Japanese cartridge into a US console, but you just set a wire snip, so just pop it right off.
Yeah, take care of that.
But anyways, so it's predates that by a lot. But so the region lock is just a chip on the board. So the homebrew community found a way. They pulled that chip off and they will just remove the region lock. They did that. What were some other cool things? A developer, I'm sorry, like I mentioned, this isn't on the list. I'm doing this off memory now.
And we don't endorse damaging intellectual property.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, don't pirate from Nintendo because they do not fuck around. Oh my God, they don't. Which comes up later.
Right.
So another guy made an electronic whiteboard using his Wii, a whiteboard, and his Wiimote. He was able to like point it, and it's got like an infrared sensor array on it, so he was able to angle it just right and use a marker of a specific color or a stylus with a specific color, and you could track it. And now they've used it as like a presentation tool. They can get it to like pinpoint accuracy. You can use it as a mouse kind of thing. So it's now...
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're able to use this cheap piece of hardware.
I just wondered how those remotes work for the Wii. I now know it's accelerometers. It's got like 7 or 8 different accelerometers in the remote. But to my younger mind, non-advanced engineering kind of mind, not to say that I am that now, I imagined it was a little sphere of all these different points of contact. And inside that sphere is mercury. And when you make a movement, the mercury would move around inside that sphere and would send signals. That's what I imagined in my head. And then I heard what accelerometers are. I'm like, oh yeah, that's way easier than
that makes way more
my
sense.
fucking contraption.
That's okay though. I mean, the logic was not far off, right? I mean, it's
use gravity to stabilize, and then movement would change. Yeah, it would work.
I could dig that.
Maybe. Patented, Twisted 10 patent. I said it right. That's how it works.
Copyright.
Patent pending. Patent pending.
Oh, patent pending.
Yeah, we've applied for it already. So actually, my last factoid, I wish I could remember his name. Again, like I said, I don't have it. I'm sorry to this guy. But it was a pilot and inventor who had the concept for the motion controls. And he kind of put his concept together, and he talked to Sony and they said no. And then he talked to Microsoft and they said no. So he went to Nintendo.
And they said, "We."
And they said, "Yeah, we'll try that." But there was an anecdote when I was reading about that. It said Nintendo's not afraid of motion controls. They were the first motion control for a game with the Power Glove.
Fucking Power Glove,
yeah,
dude.
which bombed.
What?
I don't know if it bombed. So it sold a lot.
What
but the
system
fucking
was
thing
that
would
on?
work. That was original Nintendo.
That was an NES?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I didn't have that.
Or
I had a
like
Power Glove.
Rob the Robot.
You had the Power Glove?
Rob the Robot that moved.
Oh, I remember. I had some friends that had that. I
have
didn't
that.
have it. I had the pad that you run on for track and field.
I had that too, yeah.
Yeah, and of course I had a laser gun for...
Which later turned into
Duck
Dance
Hunt.
Dance Revolution.
Yes. I had the laser gun, of course, for...
Duck Hunt?
Duck Hunt in Hogan's Alley.
I always, as a kid, it fascinated me to know, no matter what size TV you put this on, it will be able to sense what's there.
Yeah, you just can't play it on current TVs. You can't play it on the flat screens. You have to have a tube.
And apparently, I didn't know this, and sorry if I'm jumping ahead here, but did you know that Duck Hunt, Player 2's controller...
Yeah, you can control the ducks.
ducks.
Yes, you could.
What the fuck?
You could
Why
take their
did it take me years to figure that out?
Take their D-pad and sit there and move the duck around.
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome when I discovered it. I like the skeet shooting in Duck Hunt. Okay, we're getting way. This is definitely a tangent show. If
This
ever
is
there
going to
was
be
one.
a tangent show.
Anytime we get in, the skeet show. Anytime we ever get into something that's more my milieu, then I'm going to talk a lot. Yeah.
Wow. I actually, I'm going to remember it when we come across it. There was one
Skeet. Yes.
Dude, come on, man.
There's something I added into this list. I can't find it now, but it was a word that I was like, Ron's going to call this out. I was trying to find the word real quick, but
Boobs.
number 7.
Vagina. The word is vagina.
Number 7, Street Fighter.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That franchise has brought in $11.279 billion.
So that's with all the movies and everything, too, that they've done. Because they've, God, that's a lot more than I thought they would. That's more than World of Warcraft or
Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? Didn't he do some of the Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
He did Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Right?
did
He
he
did
really?
Mortal Kombat in the 90s, right?
Did he?
I don't think Van Damme did.
No, I didn't think anybody of significance did that. Okay, I don't know. I can't remember now.
seeing his face in the movie when you said
could
that.
be-
That's what came up.
You could be right.
I could also be very wrong. I'm
I don't
awful at
know.
the pop culture game. So number 7, so Street Fighter.
Discord checking in and saying, no, it was Street Fighter. So maybe he was. We've had 2 people confirm that. So, yeah, I think
What?
Van Damme
So it
was in
was
Street Fighter.
okay. Yeah, because I was looking at
Boom!
it.
I never get those. Witness me. So it was named in honor of a 1974 movie called Killer Fist, translated, but it was titled as The Street Fighter for the American release. It's the actor in it, the lead in it was Shinichi Chiba.
Easy run.
But it was the first movie to receive a U.S. theatrical rating of X for violence alone. The Street Fighter or Killer Fist, it was the first X-rated movie just because it's so violent.
Not because
Really?
of sexual content.
Well, and there was dicks in it, too. But, you know.
they were fighting with their dicks. They were sword fighting.
Why'd you lisp it up? Why'd you go lispy? It doesn't have to be lispy like this. Never mind. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I will be lispy if I start talking about sword fighting. Sorry if that offends you.
Hey, Happy Pride Month, guys.
Oh, yeah. Happy Pride Month.
We just
Oh, yeah,
just
that's right.
recover that. Yeah, Happy Pride Month.
Good recovery there.
All right. So in 1987 was the original release of Street Fighter, but they had the normal 6-button arcade cabinet that we're familiar with.
Yes.
But
that's actually where I played all my Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, early days for sure.
My days of the skating rink, man. I was 13.
I don't think I had it on NES.
I was a speed skater. Like that was like the hip thing to do in Jacksonville, North Carolina, is go skating.
Oh, in the 80s, yeah, skating rink's huge. Probably Josh like born after that 90s. Era.
I did skating rinks in the 90s.
Yeah, but it was like in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. It was like the thing.
I guess it wasn't early 90s.
It was huge.
Definitely late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Sure. We would. I didn't even hit the button. I'm like, wait, it's going off by itself. No, they used to have fucking like all night skates where the parents would drop the kids off, and of course the parents love that. No, being a parent now, if I had an opportunity to drop my kid off overnight at some place that I trusted, something like that.
Yeah, midnight skating at the disco ball was awesome. Stayed up all night skating. And I was a shitty skater too, but I didn't care. I still had fun.
So the Street Fighter cabinets.
Pull it back.
Wow, we really tangented.
They had a special edition that came out in very limited quantities. So the game only had a punch button and a kick button, but there was a pressure pad underneath the button. And based on the pressure that you hit it with, light, medium, or heavy hits. They didn't last very long because everyone just punched the shit out of these buttons.
Who could have seen that coming?
But they are still out there. It's pretty neat. So they had, that's a pressure sensitive button in a 1987 arcade cabinet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
who's your favorite? So original Street Fighter, who's your favorite character? Maybe Street Fighter 2 is what I'm thinking. Is when I first started playing Street Fighter, it might have been Street Fighter 2.
At this point, it's been so long, don't even remember.
Street Fighter
Honda, Chun-Li. Those are my two favorite, but in that order: E-Honda and then Chun-Li.
Street Fighter 2 saved the franchise.
Really?
Yeah. It almost didn't get funded because Street Fighter 1 performed
Was that
so
an
poorly.
SNES? Street Fighter 2?
That was... Ooh, I don't have the...
I was just curious
for that. Yeah. I didn't put a console for that. Just...
No worries.
I was in there. So the...
I know that you're talking about when Street Fighter hit console?
No, we're talking about Street Fighter 2, what console that was.
Oh, okay.
I thought maybe it was SNES.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it was
probably arcade
because I
cabinet.
had it, and I didn't have PlayStation
I didn't have
or
it.
anything like that till...
I had a Sega, but I played Street Fighter, and some of my
friends... Do you know that it was
arcade
arcade cabinet first?
Yeah, I remember it, and that's where I played it originally. I played Street Fighter. It was on an arcade cabinet.
That's what we got to get for the studio.
Also
arcade stand-up video game in
That'd
here.
be fun. They sell them at...
I just went to a party
store on
a friend.
Island.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, those are the pinballs.
I went to
they sell pinball games in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Superior arcade cabinet?
No, I would want like a video. I want a pinball game.
I went to a
pinball game would be fun, but
a friend of mine's house. He had the full-size standing arcade game, but it had like 30 classic games in it.
Yeah, see, that's what I would.
It had Galaga, it had Miss Pac-Man.
Do you remember the game I had in my apartment in Cape Canaveral?
We took over his show again. Let's
real
go.
Quick. Do you remember that?
I tried, Josh.
It's cool.
Do you remember?
No.
It was free, but everybody would put money in it to save up money for the kegerator that everybody would drink from.
I don't remember.
Told that story on the show a few weeks ago.
Did I?
Maybe the after show. Yeah, you just recently told that story.
Hey, let's think about my memory for a second, Josh.
Yeah. I think we know your memory isn't
You
the
too,
best.
Randy.
So when the original release of Street Fighter came out, it did not have combos. It came out without any combo system whatsoever.
That's silly.
They weren't a thing yet. No one had. It just hadn't been done yet. No one had
just punching and kicking.
Yeah, just punching and kicking. But combos came in
Kung Fu
because there was a bug in the code that if you had near like frame level precision, you could tie moves together, and so you could clip out animation time and attack faster than the other person. Is what they just called them combos. So Capcom like never advertised it. They left it in there. It got word of mouth through the player base. It got spread out.
Okay.
But they ended up leaving it in, and it became like part of Street Fighter 2. So Street Fighter 2 was the first fighting game of that side-by-side style that had intentional combo systems built in that you could learn, and it became because they were advertised, they saw it as a means to make it more skill-based than tribal knowledge-based. So if you were a collection of good players and only a handful were like, don't tell that guy, fuck that guy, he doesn't need combos. That guy didn't have combos. he didn't win shit. That's just how it worked. So they added it in, they put it into the menu, you could look at it, and that became the combo system that we see in fighting games today. And
Mortal Kombat is where they started killing people.
Finish him.
Before it was just knocking them out. Then it became ripping heads off and
fatalities.
Fatality.
Street Fighter performed financially beyond Mortal Kombat in the ballpark of $10 billion.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
Way better than Mortal Kombat.
Even the Mortal Kombat movie, well, there's only been 2 movies, and then one is new, so never mind.
Isn't there a new one coming out?
No, it just had one out. It's HBO. It was HBO Max. I actually went to it's the only movie I've seen at the theater in 2 years.
Cool.
I actually went to the theater even though I could watch it on HBO Max just for the theater experience.
The review that I heard about that movie is best movie I've ever watched.
If you went to this Mortal Kombat movie, would you have anticipation of it being a good? What would your thought process be? What would your mindset be going in?
I would immediately think the plot is a love story wrapped around a fighting competition.
Okay, it was no love story that I recall, but
that's why it was probably bad. You always got to have a love story.
I had certain expectations that went in and blew those expectations away, but it's still
left with no substance.
But it's still a cheesy video game movie.
Hey, look, man, these are just the B movies of the 20s.
Yep, there you
That's
go.
all it is.
And I enjoyed it. I was entertained by
God,
it
the 20s,
thoroughly.
The 20s now.
And Chun-Li, you mentioned her.
Yes.
She was the first female character in the Street Fighter canon and the first significant playable character in a fighting game ever.
No shit.
Yeah, or in a game ever. So it's not that there hadn't been female characters before, but she was significant enough to have a story and a reason for being there, as all the Street Fighters did. They all had a little bit of a backstory, but
I would be willing to bet she was one of the first video game characters that they really focused on having a sex appeal too, because they made her sexy, intentionally sexy.
Wasn't it just her thighs that hung out? Wasn't it?
No, she also had gigantic boobs, and at least from what I remember.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that was
Are you
just
speaking
Japanese.
to the original, the NES?
But yeah, boobs and thighs, yeah.
Or the second movie?
I'm thinking about in the arcade, the roller skating rink. When I was playing it, she was the sexy character.
12-year-old Adam just figuring out how to hijack his Wii.
Yeah, I'm jacking my Wii. Hi, guys. Was that her panties, or is she not wearing? Yeah, that was me.
We all were, man. We all were.
We should tell the Tomb Raider story. I told that story to some friend.
We tried so long.
Some 18-year-olds recently, 18-year-old guys. They thought it was the most hilarious shit ever. Good after show topic. Let's remember that.
All right, deal. You got to remember it.
Send it in Discord.
Yes.
Remember my
right
memory.
now.
All right. And number 6 is Space Invaders.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Can you believe Space Invaders tops Warcraft?
That is pretty impressive. Now, does that include Galaga, or is that separate?
That is separate. That is not Space Invaders.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is it. So Space Invaders has netted since 1978 $13.93 billion.
God damn.
44 years.
Of course, I guess everyone has owned a copy of that at some point or another.
That's really what it comes down to. They said they don't get it. It's on every console. It's out there. People still love it. People still buy it. It's just there's just something about it. It's so simple. They don't understand it. Somebody was quoted as saying they don't get it, but they're glad that people still like it. And it's a 44-year-old game at this point.
It's a
holy shit
43-year-old
puzzle game. I mean, it's
That's
not puzzle.
nuts.
You're shooting things down, but it's a no-brainer muscle memory kind of.
I just played it 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's
it was
on
in
your
that.
phone?
No, it was in my friend. I said he has.
That cabinet.
That cabinet game. Yeah, it was one of the games in there.
Guys, we can build a cabinet for the studio.
Actually, I spent almost my entire time playing.
One of our listeners in Discord, throwing some love back to Discord again, has a connection again for somewhere where we can potentially get.
Is that Clayton's icon?
It is
Cool.
Yeah.
Claytor's icon. Sorry.
Yeah, Claytor.
Super
so
cool.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll chat with them at the break. But I mean, I can also build one. There's kits for it. I'll tell you later.
All right, cool.
So Space Invaders, it was originally developed by Tomohiro Nishikado, but he did not have any intention on going into the video game industry. None whatsoever. He graduated from Tokyo Denki University.
And then one day realized he was Japanese and he had no choice.
As an electrical engineer.
Sorry, that was bad.
That's fine.
Could have made cars.
That's Ron. That's Ron who said that. case anybody's wondering.
It's totally Adam.
I might have been thinking it.
But he went and he specialized in television circuitry. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go make TVs. So he got hired by a company called Taito. They're an electronics company. They decided to make video games because everything else was not working out for them.
Damn.
So basically, they're like, hey, it plugs into the wall, your IT, and fucking write a game.
God, the TVs to making video game code. That's like us saying, you know, guys, the podcast ain't working. We're going to go into nude artwork. Go.
Yeah, like I know how to work a microphone. It's such a bizarre thing. Specifically, like he graduated electrical engineer for television circuitry specifically, and then did nothing with it. His initial design concept had the players shooting down planes, tanks, and soldiers, but it was later declined because they did not want the game to feature the image of war. So we're talking about 1970s Japan. They were still kind of reeling from
World War II.
Yeah, the end of World War II.
efforts in World War II. Without
good move.
Without a military.
I don't think it would have been the long-lasting game had it had something that symbolized humanity in any way. Because this is all aliens, so it's
So they
crabs and stuff. I think I watched a Netflix special on like what went into creating each one of those little images and what it represented. I think there's a Netflix special on that. I think it's like about video games that just happens to be in it.
No, there is a Netflix special on the history of video games. It's like 7-8 episodes. It's really good if you haven't seen it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
I'm kidding.
I can't remember what it's called.
I know, honestly though, it's actually a really good documentary.
It's an amazing documentary. Love it.
It's pretty cool. I just threw it on at work. No, just being silly. I didn't steal the Netflix show from my list.
There's some truth in there somewhere.
No, actually,
definitely.
I should have at least watched it again. I watched it when it came out, like last year.
Yeah, me too.
But the game had some technical limitations in the beginning. The hardware had technical limitations, which ended up driving into what made the game so much fun. So they maxed out, when you start a level, it maxes out the CPU. It's running at 100% when you start a level. And what ends up happening is as you kill aliens, their load on the processor drops off. And that allows them to move faster.
That's funny.
And that allows you to move faster, and it allows the chipset music to play faster. So that's why...
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was
awesome.
The hardware couldn't keep up with what they wrote, but it could still run it. So it would run and just run better. It was just lagging because there was too much going on. So the engine runs better as you kill enemies. I mean, obviously it's different now, but...
That's fucking cool.
So what ended up becoming... like a big feature for the game, like it's reactive to your play, and it was a whole thing. It was beyond just, as the article wrote, it's beyond challenging. It became intimidating because it got progressively harder, which was new. It was 1978. Games were new, but like,
sure,
no one had considered a progressive difficulty type thing until they accidentally made one.
That's really cool.
That's 10 through 6. That's the first half of the list, guys.
Nice.
You had a story about this song that we're about to play.
So yeah, we're playing another Truphonic song again tonight, but it's one that you haven't heard before, or maybe you have. If you were a fan of our other podcast called Living Podcariously, we used it on there a little bit. That's an old show of ours that we don't do anymore. We don't produce it anymore, but we used it on that show a little bit. This is not on like an album that you can purchase. I don't think it's on their album, and it's not on Spotify.
It's not on their album on Spotify.
So this is like an exclusive. You might be able to find it if you search specifically for it.
Is it on their Bandcamp?
Probably on YouTube.
I'll check their Bandcamp.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, this is all instrumental. This is called Fonzarelli's Jam from Truphonic.
Hey!
Not that Fonz. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Fonzarelli's Jam?
Fonzarelli's Jam.
Fonzarelli's Jam.
Yeah, Fonzarelli's Jam. Ron looks
I thought we normally come back from the break with music.
We stopped doing that. The listener hears music when the show is published, but we stopped.
It messed up my vibe.
We stopped doing that a while ago.
All right. So tonight I'm doing a list, top 10 video game franchises of all time by just gross value, gross income. So I asked you guys during a question during the break, and I actually held back. I just left it to Discord. But what do you guys think the number one grossing franchise of all time is? I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. I'm just curious what you think.
Let Adam go first.
I would have originally said Warcraft. I would have originally gone that route. So that tells you how far off I am. I don't know. My answer, I believe, is going to be influenced by Discord because I happen to agree with something that somebody put in there. Only going back as far as I can remember, what video game has sustained the test of time?
Yeah, I think you're going to end up with the same answer as me.
And that's Super Mario or Mario.
That's my answer as well.
So I think that whoever owns that, I know Mario might not be the franchise, maybe be, but I think whoever owns that has probably got the corner. The market cornered for the best gaming franchise in the history of
well, because if you take that character's been around since Atari.
He's been licensed over 200 times.
Yeah, it just seems.
That nugget of knowledge wouldn't necessarily be right on the top of Josh's mind. So we're onto something. He's in the top 5.
I figured Mario was in there somewhere. Whether it's
Mario
number 1, it's kind of a dad answer.
It's definitely on the list. And that is not one of my Mario factoids that I have.
So Josh is just bragging now. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
I learned it doing the list. It's just not on my list of facts.
Roger that.
I don't want to take too much credit here. Since it's by value, I don't feel like that's too bad of a spoiler. But
go through 10 through just to recap 10 through 6 real quick. Who were the top 5 or top 5? Yeah.
Number 10 is the Warcraft franchise, 10.627 billion. Number 9 is the Final Fantasy series at 10.656 billion, so 30 million off, roughly. Number 8 was the Wii console. Again, a little weird, but because of the console exclusives that you had to buy the console to get, Wii Sports, Wii Tennis, whatever. Number 7, Street Fighter. Oh, and 10.8 something billion for the Wii? Yeah. Number 7 was Street Fighter, 11.27 billion. Number 6 is Space Invaders, 13.93 billion.
It's going to be something like that at number 1. It's going to be fucking way bizarre. Anyway, sorry.
So Donkey Kong.
Number 5.
Not a bad guess. That's not a bad guess.
That's a good guess.
Or Atari in general, because I think Atari owns a lot of those. Sorry, go.
You're good. Number 5, Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, it didn't even pop in my head. That's a good one.
14.107 billion. Netted, and it's still current. They're still releasing new variants on Pac-Man.
Oh yeah,
you can go on the PlayStation Store and Switch
also,
Store. And
also a game I played on Saturday, Miss Pac-Man. Actually, I actually, if you don't mind me, since you're talking about Pac-Man, actually beat that game. It does have an end.
Really?
Yeah, I don't brag about myself much.
That's impressive.
You made it all the way to 256.
I fucking own that shit, bro. I had the fucking highest fucking If I had taken a picture and sent it in, I feel like nobody beat that fucking score. It was just, it gets to a point in Miss Pac-Man where Miss Pac-Man, when she eats the big, thing that changes it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the big ball.
When she eats the big ball, it doesn't even change in blue anymore. That literally only
so fast.
It only changes their direction.
Really?
Yes, it gets that fucking hard. It just goes so insanely fast, and I did it on the NES.
Wow, really?
With, because on the NES you had the joystick, the controller always broke after you had it for 2 days. You could hear it rattling in there. Yeah, so I did it on that.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was with the joystick, not a D-pad. That's really hard to play on a D-pad, but I beat it. I fucking was here's the thing. One of the hardest games you'd think ever in the world to beat it, you'd some spectacular ending. It just fucking ends.
That's awesome.
I had just no more mazes. It just literally just blinks blue, and the main screen comes on again, and that's it.
It's because only you and 4 other people have made it to the end.
I don't know how I did it. It was one of the few games I've ever actually beat in my life, believe it or not.
So, Pac-Man, regular Pac-Man, has never been beaten because you cannot beat it.
Yeah, didn't beat regular Pac-Man.
In the original version, you would get to the 256th level, and the game would glitch crash and dump everything.
Really?
So that's kind of like,
Boom.
that's, in my mind, I feel like that's beating it. If you got to the end where the game couldn't play anymore, that's beating the game. So anybody who did that, in my mind, they beat the game.
Okay.
Do you guys agree with me?
But you don't get to put your initials in.
I agree with the Pac-Man company
Yeah.
that said it's a bug. Sorry. They owned up to it. They're like, we're sorry. But anyway, I see your point.
It's like when Candy Crush only had like 300 levels 10 years ago.
That's a dad
Does it
joke.
crash out?
I don't know Candy Crush. I mean, I know what Candy Crush is, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
a dad joke. I played Brick Breaker. I got the bird for that.
The perfect... Oh, one of the earlier entries on the list. I'll come back to that. It was originally called Puckman, but in the U.S., the distributor was worried that Puckman would be too easily converted to a
Fuckman.
derogatory fuckman.
Let's go play some Fuckman, brah.
It came to the U.S. as Puckman, or it was going to come to the U.S. as Puckman, because the original creator loved the onomatopoeic. That's the one. That's what I was talking about earlier, Ron. The onomatopoeic phrase, paku paku, meaning chomp chomp. And the kanji symbol for it meaning tabaru, which means to eat. So it was called paku paku because it lined up perfectly in Japanese.
Do you have on your list of factoids about Pac-Man how every one of us, no matter where you're sitting in the world, unless you don't have a pinky, can make the sound of Pac-Man in your own head?
Unless you
I saw this on the internet and I tried it.
a
Sure enough, it
pinky?
works. Take your pinky. I want both of you to do this.
I do remember this.
Put it in your ear. I'm dead serious.
No,
I'm
I
doing
feel
it.
like this is
No,
so
and all you
it's
do
on
is
a
you
setup,
move it up
so-
and down, and the sound that it makes sounds like imagine Pac-Man
Slowly.
eating the
Waka,
pucks.
waka, waka, waka. Yeah, and if you're listening, might as well stick your finger in your ear. Let's do this together, everybody.
Somebody's gonna crash. Oh, we are not liable for somebody wrecking your car while you're listening to Discord.
I don't
I
have
guess.
that on the list.
I have weird ears, so you know.
There's been two people who have held the world record for Pac-Man. So like I mentioned, you get to the 256th level, you lose.
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man was way less. It's like 60-something mazes or something
okay,
like that.
yeah, way
Yeah,
less
it's
than-
nothing like like Pac-Man.
But if you eat all of the, what are they, the dots, pucks, food, pills, whatever,
Pac-Man pellets.
Pac-Man pellets, you eat all of them, the maximum score that you can get on Pac-Man is 3,333,360. That's a perfect score. You hit 256, it crashes. So there are two people who have held that title. And the reason it's 1999, the first guy who got it found out later he cheated. So he lost his title. But he did do it. But
How do you cheat in Pac-Man?
Did he hack the game or something?
in 2012, another guy did it using the same method as the original cheat, but he did it legitimately. And so he's still, he has the world record because it's literally impossible to beat him. What the cheat and the trick was is that on every level there is a spot, and this is the original arcade cabinet version of Pac-Man. On every level there's a spot where the ghosts don't go. It was frame perfect, but you could find a spot and park Pac-Man and fucking walk away. So the way it worked is the guy, when he was playing, he would just play levels, whatever, and then when he needed to take a break, he would just kind of watch the ghosts, whatever, find the spot, whatever method he used.
I don't think that's cheating.
Well, I guess the original guy cheated to get that information. I don't know how he cheated, but
Many
it was found that-
fathoms have died
Yeah.
to bring us this information.
Well, he
Sorry.
dissected the algorithms that the little ghosts are possible to take.
I mean, it was 99, so I don't. Maybe he just like pulled the code
He
and
snuck
like,
it
I don't
into
know, I don't know.
R2D2. No, sorry, I was.
Oh my god!
I had already done another joke referring to that, and you guys didn't get it, so I had to be more obvious.
It was just as funny the second time around.
I'm sure it was. Bet you the guys in Discord got it. Just saying.
Space Invaders was inspired by Star Wars.
Space Invaders was
yeah.
inspired by Star Wars. Really?
Yep. Sorry, that was just you just brought that up. They were called pellets. They were Pac-Man pellets.
I
You were right.
assume Puckman meant he ate pucks.
They were Puckman pellets.
Puckman. Paku Paku pellets. All right, so that's number 5, Pac-Man. Number 4. So number 4 is Dungeon Fighter Online. This is the one for me. I had never even heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
It comes in at a net gross, or at a gross so far of $15 billion.
For a game none of the 3 of us have heard of?
Is it overseas
It
mostly?
is overseas.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
It's
makes
a
sense.
South Korean game picked up by a Chinese company. So
There you
they
go.
love their microtransactions, and that's what they attribute it to. It's not. So it's Nexon. If you're in the game community and you know Nexon, they love their microtransactions. Holy shit. But it's a great game. So it's on the US, it's on Xbox, it's on Steam now.
When you say microtransactions, you mean like in the game, this little thing costs you 99 cents?
100%.
Okay.
Microtransaction,
Sure,
yeah.
So,
Pay to win.
yeah.
Well, not
Gotcha.
necessarily pay to win. I think
Is it just cosmetic?
Clash of Clans, they have that option to buy shit.
microtransaction doesn't mean pay to win. There are pay to win mechanisms, and then there's also just cosmetics.
Yeah, it's like a moral divider.
Oh yeah,
that
just
game
for
developers
for like skins and stuff. Yeah.
It's a moral divider that game developers have of if they want to introduce pay transactions, microtransactions. Do you allow people to purchase the ability to progress further in your game and do better, or just go the cosmetic route and it does not affect how you play the game? That's a moral like barrier that some people don't have a problem crossing.
Yeah,
but
no,
some
it's
people,
'cause
some
they
developers
make a
don't.
lot of money.
Yeah, Dungeon Fighter Online has no qualms about that. There's actually some upset in the community because they do have you can pay for, I don't know what you can buy, but you can buy things in the game that are like, you can buy in-game gear. You can just make a new guy boop and buy gear, stupid shit like that. So there's definitely the term being whales in the community. They just throw a bunch of money at it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those games, like I said, Clash of Clans.
Well,
that's
World
a
of Warcraft introduced
perfect example.
when microtransactions started to become a thing. World of Warcraft introduced microtransactions, and the community lost their shit at Blizzard. But Blizzard did it correctly, in my opinion. They did. They introduced cosmetic microtransactions to change your character's appearances and whatever, or like gear, but it didn't give you any stat boost or anything.
Didn't give you an advantage.
Or they offered an additional microtransaction that was kind of halfway between pay to win and just cosmetic. It was paying to level. So part of the game, the arbitrary part of the game, is going from level 1 to level whatever the hell it is
That's
now.
like the whole point of the game.
Not necessarily.
Isn't it?
There's
Really?
a huge like in-game content. Every single time they come out with a new expansion to the game, they've introduced these top in like difficult dungeons and quests, but you have to be max level. So there is an angle there that Blizzard introduced that I guess was a fair middle ground. You pay to level. And I think they may have introduced pay to win stuff now too, but I don't know. It's been so long since I played.
So they haven't. What they have is you can buy gold with money. But what it is, sort of, you can buy WoW game time tokens and pay for your month's subscription, and then you can list those on the in-game player auction house, and then players can buy them with gold. So you can pay $15, get a month's subscription as a token, throw that on the auction house, and then people can pay you, whatever it is, 500,000. I don't know what the value is, but they can pay you in-game gold for that. So they introduced a mechanism to stabilize the basically uncontrollable real money transaction market. There's just nothing they can do about it. And now there's a mechanism to pay $15, get a shit ton of money, and Blizzard's not going to ban my account. Dope, I'm in. So I've done it. They still have the leveling. You can buy a higher level character. And as a grown ass man with a full-time job and 2 kids, I fucking love level boosts. I love it.
Yeah. Get to the end a little faster. Or
I'm saying,
get to where you want to get a little faster.
Yeah.
So, because I've done
There's something
the
to be
story.
said for going through it. Yeah, there's something. And now they've, I guess, again, I know we're going back to your number 10 on the list, but they've reintroduced some sort of leveling areas in that game. So no longer do you have to like start in your starting zone. You can go experience different expansion packs over the last 15 years and also get your experience and level up by experiencing those different areas, which is kind of cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Neat-
the new
neat way
leveling
to level.
system's pretty cool. But yeah, so Dungeon Fighter Online, I'll just bring it back. It was actually, I was okay with this tangent because I couldn't really find a lot of interesting facts about it. It's not a part of our gaming culture. I didn't even know about it. None of us had even heard of it. But what I did find about it is that it has over 600 million players.
God damn. What's it called again?
Dungeon Fighter Online.
Just gonna
it
Google
actually
it real
looks
quick.
pretty fucking cool. It's like I put a note in here. What did I call it? It's like Maple Story meets Golden Axe, an old Sega and arcade cabinet. So it's like it's a side scroller, a top down view, isometric top down view, whatever, like a 45-degree angle. But like you just go through.
Look at that.
It looks super cool, right? So it's
It does, but it doesn't look like I would expect to see that many millions of
That's what I'm
players
saying.
playing.
Maybe it's more about the interface or the
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm actually inclined
something
to try it
about
out
the
'cause
game.
It's not like the visual
It's nothing
fidelity is not
special.
crazy. Yeah, it's not like crazy good graphics or anything. Yeah,
It's
I
like
watched some videos on it. I mean, it looks cool. And if I think it's free, I'm gonna pull it on Steam because it looks cool and it's free. You know, I'm not trying to compete with the people throwing money out. I'm not trying to compete with those whales, but apparently the competitive scene for DFO has a lot of issues because of that. But it's built in. It's part of the game. So
Gotcha.
pay to win.
So it's on Steam, huh?
Yeah, it's on Steam in
Most
the
of my
US.
kids are big old huge Steam users. I wonder if either one of them.
I've been playing. When I
Play.
have some spare time. Sea of Thieves. On
That looks
Steam.
cool.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's just you get to go be a pirate, go dig up treasure, go
Oh, that sounds
fucking
like fun.
blow somebody else's boat up if you want. Real players. Yeah, and it's just really you don't like what you need to go do something. All right, fucking kill it. You're done. You know, it's no brainers. I mean, I'm sure there's some really serious Sea of Thieves players out there, but not me. That is my oasis game. I go play that just when I need a little Adam time
Okay.
after jerking off.
Okay.
I mean, jacking my Wii or what do
After
you say?
hijack your Wii?
Pornhub, you do Sea of Thieves.
Yes. You don't want to confuse those.
No.
So the last three on this list actually got kind of lengthy on my notes. Like, check this out, Ron. I'm going to show you. I'm on number 3.
Oh.
I got a lot here. But this is pretty interesting.
Wait,
So,
I think he was showing Ron, check this out. I have a lot of stuff to go over. Shut your fucking mouth for 5 seconds so I can do it. I feel like that's what that was really, some
I think so.
subliminal message.
I fully
Some
anticipated.
subliminal message to tell me be quiet and let me get through my stuff.
I fully anticipated what he was really going to show you was a picture of his dick. That's what I really
Dude,
thought he was going to.
That would have been awesome.
check
'cause
out
I
all
was-
this scrolling.
Yeah, look how long your scroll is.
So this number is actually from 2016. It was the most recent official number I could find. Call of Duty, as of 5 years ago,
You said Call of Duty earlier. Yeah.
has racked in $17 billion.
Jeez.
That's 5 years old. So
Now were they also the same people as Battlefield, or is that somebody different? That's different. Damn.
No.
Okay.
yeah, those two butt heads. I mean, as franchises, I don't know if the
Yeah.
companies do, but yeah, they compete with each other. But again, a lot of most of this information is current as of 2016 for this one. So players have built up 1,900 years worth of gameplay. Every
That's awesome.
day.
We're going back to Jesus.
Every
Every
day.
day.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
I'd love to hear a total
again,
number on that.
5 years ago, it's just under 3 billion years of playtime on all the different
3
Call of Duty games.
Billion. That's amazing.
Billion years.
I've racked in a few of those. I've
I've
done some
tried.
Call of Duty.
Dude,
I've tried to play that
Warzone.
game once or twice. And I suck at it so
Oh, I'm
bad.
horrible. Don't get me wrong.
It's
I
not
go in
even-
there and get
not even
teabagged
fun.
and called some word I wouldn't say on our show by
From an
some
11-year-old.
12-year-old kid. Yeah. Fucking kids.
You
It's
even know
okay.
what that means. So yeah, that's 3 billion years of playtime. Again, 5 years old on that number.
It's nuts.
There was a research study published in Current Biology, it's the name of the magazine, that concluded that there was a there was a link between stronger cognitive skills from players who play first-person shooters. So the way that they're forced to like read, recognize, and decide so quickly, it actually has created a faster thinking generation of gamers.
Oh, I believe that. That makes sense.
You know, those types of games. Josh, I know. Well, Ron, you had to qualify on weaponry when you were doing your
In the
police
academy?
academy stuff.
Yeah, the coolest shit we did was simunitions.
Simulations. suck to get hit by.
That's real gun shooting paintball. That's paint like pellets, but out of a real fucking gun.
Yeah, it's a real firearm. Yeah.
That's tense.
When I went to get my qualifying, because the company that we used to work for a long time ago, you'd have to have qualifications on firearms before you could get deployed to go different places around the world. Anyway, when we went up there, the instructor asked everyone in the class that was there, who's a gamer, who plays video games, hardcore. And I raised my hand, and I was the only person in this class. The rest of my class, I was in there with Kevin, if you remember him, Stick is what they called him.
I remember Stick.
Anyway, pilots. I had pilots and mechanics and crew chiefs and stuff. That was all that was in my class. And I qualified higher than all of them. I finished first in the class and first in like a lot of categories in at least this instructor's class. And he asked me, he goes, how much have you fired, like shot weapons? I'm like, other than shotguns and a couple times on farms and stuff like that, and a handgun every once in a while, never. I'm not a regular shooter. I don't go to a range. I couldn't tell you where one was. And he's like, you were the gamer, weren't you? He goes, yeah. He goes, most gamers, understand how to aim down a sight because they've watched it on their screen so many times. They know how that bullet is going to go because a lot of those games are really accurate. So figure I'd tie that in there.
Nice. Interesting.
See, a segue that included bragging about myself, Ron. That's how you do it.
So that was a whole lot of look at me from Adam.
That's right.
A whole lot of whipping out your dick.
What down, Joe?
That's right.
What down?
When I didn't go to the same qualifying place that you went to. I went to the newer program when they switched. Sorry to be so vague about it, but we have to. So I guess we don't have to. We should.
We have there are NDAs in place from way back then. But
whatever.
There's a place in Virginia that I went, and then where did you go? Here in Florida?
Local. Yeah, it was a local thing.
Yeah.
I got shot with a simunition round on the soft spot on the back of my elbow.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was fucking awful.
We did a vehicle roll simulation.
I didn't get to do the roll. I had to do a they called it bang and retreat. So it was four of us.
That's what I call Tuesday night.
She was hot.
Oh, man. And we gave them just that hard.
Now, bang and retreat is when they're not hot, but you need it. You need to get,
Bang and retreat is when it's someone else's wife.
So, all right. Actually, I'll save that story for the after show. Talk about the time I got shot at by an instructor.
All right.
And then when I shot him several times.
Putting it in there.
So one of our Discord members did chime up in there, and I don't know. I think this is referring to Battlefield versus Call of Duty. He said it's the same. It's different departments of the same company. He said that's why there's one every year. So I think it had to tie in with Battlefield.
So
maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Absolutely. Okay. So my understanding of the situation is that whoever owns Call of Duty hires 3 different developers, and they rotate a developer, and they work on it for a few years for release. So the reason we get them one a year is because what we're going to get for 2022 is almost done, but what we're going to get in 23 and 24 is just getting started and is in the middle of development. So they have a rolling release cycle because they can sell us one every year because that shit works. People pay for it. I don't get why.
Madden. Oh, I bet Madden is in this list.
We are getting pretty close.
Because every year that was kind of the thing about Madden.
Yeah, because I've been playing Madden since 1992 on Sega.
Maybe.
Yeah, interesting.
Right, so two more Call of Duty.
It's like 30 years.
The record holder, he played. Which Call of Duty did he play? He said it in 2012, so whatever was current then. He played Call of Duty for 135 hours and 50 minutes.
Straight.
Well, sort of. So
4.5 days?
Yeah. He was allowed to take a 10-minute break.
Oh, that's much longer than that.
It's
like 7 days.
7 days. So
we're bad at math.
So well, I mean, what's 135 divided by 24? Go.
Oh, I opened calendar, not calculator. Hang on a minute, I'll tell you.
It's 5. It's wait. It's about 5.5 days.
5.65,
yeah.
But he was allowed to take a 10-minute break for every hour of gameplay. He accumulated them up and took a just under 7-hour nap. And in that time, he rose up to 37th place in the global Black Ops 2 leaderboard. So he played the longest marathon. He went up 37th, became a top 50 player.
Damn.
And then
pretty badass.
So two more things. One is just kind of funny. North Korea and ISIS have used Call of Duty video footage, like cutscenes, for propaganda footage.
Really?
Yep. North Korea released. I have details. Awesome. So the North Korea one was from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 with buildings being destroyed. So they released it saying that the United States was under siege because it took place in a simulated part of America.
No shit.
So they obviously had to pull it down. That one is still online though, so that's hilarious. And ISIS used some footage from the fall of the Eiffel Tower and attacks from Berlin and Rome. So saying we were attacking people and we're the worst. Yeah, but then I want to end it on a high note. So big shout out to Activision. They have a significant chunk of the revenue from Call of Duty that they put into what they call the Call of Duty Endowment Group. It assists veterans finding jobs, going through just professional rehab and coming out of the service. So they have, 2015 was the last number I could find, but they've helped over 20,000 veterans get placed into new work. So super cool of Activision to do that. All right. Number 2.
Oh, number 2. Here it is. It's either Mario or it's EA Sports.
EA
coming
Sports.
in at $30.25 billion.
In the game.
Mario.
Damn, Mario.
Damn, it wasn't number 1.
Mario was number 2.
Why are we so sure that Madden's on the list?
That's the only other humongous franchise that has yearly sales.
Interesting. Okay.
It's good. It's good. It's a good guess. Let's see. 1981 was the first Mario rendition.
1981?
Of the game or the character?
Of the character.
In Donkey Kong, right?
So known as, from Donkey Kong, known as Jumpman at the time. Yep.
Jumpman. Hey, I know that song.
That was one of my...
Wait.
Would you like a black and mild?
Sorry, I needed to white myself up a little bit there.
Did you?
Let's see. Okay, so if you read the game's manual for the original Donkey Kong, it actually points out that Donkey Kong is Jumpman's pet, and Donkey Kong was motivated to abduct Pauline due to being mistreated.
So he's a wife beater?
Apparently so.
Mario's a wife beater this whole time?
Or he's a pet gorilla beater.
What?
He's beating the gorilla, so he's trying to take... Either way, it's a bad picture. I took that
as Donkey Kong kidnapped Pauline because of the way Mario or Jumpman was treating her.
I know.
That's how I took that.
But it's my writing.
Oh,
so it's not like it's not written that way.
The story's way better if he's a wife beater, though. That's great.
Worse?
Well, worse in reality,
story,
but
worse.
Better for the purposes of being lore of a video game.
Motivated to abduct Pauline due to being mistreated. So I'll have to look it up. That'd be interesting.
He does have quite a bit of road rage. I mean, look, he throws bananas when he's driving all the time. Turtle shells.
Turtle shell. Just kicks turtles.
The movie in the 90s was the first video game adaptation to a movie.
Bob Hoskins.
Which, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I watched it as a kid. Maybe it didn't hold up as an adult. As a grown up now. But I enjoyed it. I was like 6 when I saw it.
Yeah.
So, and Mario was current in my world, so it was like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, I remember seeing it when I was young. I thought it was decent.
I remember getting really hyped for the show or for the movie that came out that promoted the brand new Super Mario 3. Something Wizard, the Wizard.
Pinball Wizard?
No, the Wizard.
The Wizard.
Where they actually featured the fucking Power Glove, and the Super Mario Brothers 3 was like brand new and
That's
just
awesome.
hitting.
I like that game. I play that on my Switch often, to be honest.
Super Mario 3?
Super Mario 3,
fantastic. Still one of my favorite games.
One, yeah.
Yep.
And it's free on Switch if you have a Switch and an online
I do.
membership.
I have the online and all that. Play some of the old Mario
I need to
stuff.
get a Switch.
Bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Switch is awesome.
All right. So so Mario has some characteristics that are pretty iconic to him. His hat, his mustache, his brightly colored overalls. These were all decisions based on technical limitations of like old screens and old hardware. The hat, because they didn't have to portray hair. The mustache, because they didn't have to portray a mouth. And then the plumber's jumpsuit that he's in, well, it wasn't actually a plumber's jumpsuit, it was just a jumpsuit, was brightly colored and it was easy to distinguish limbs and legs. or arms and legs.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was just
good old 8-bit graphics. It's leads to Mario's Inception later. That's cool. Jumpman though, that's a cool name.
Because that's all he did. He just jumped. He's just Jumpman. Climb ladders. I guess he had a hammer. It was a hammer, right? All right, so this one, this is kind of long.
It wasn't a wrench. So was Mario originally supposed to be a carpenter?
He wasn't a plumber.
See?
He originally was a baseball player, I believe, and they changed
Mario baseball.
Yeah, he was.
I'm learning all sorts of stuff tonight.
I could be wrong about what he originally was, but he did not start as a plumber. I know that. All right, so this is kind of a long-winded one, but there was some litigation around the original Donkey Kong and Mario, which coming from Universal. So Nintendo in Japan got a telex, good old telephone fax, from Universal. At the time it was MCU Universal, from their legal team, giving Nintendo 48 hours to turn over all profits from Donkey Kong immediately and to turn over all rights, because they said it infringed upon their ownership of the King Kong franchise. Ape gets mad, kidnaps a woman, dude's coming back to save her. I can see the parallels. I get it.
Yeah,
I guess I could see it too, but
but again, we're talking. It's
there are some pretty serious parallels there.
But so it's they met with Universal and Nintendo met, and Nintendo said, can we just have a reprieve? Like we're not denying it. We went like a month to like look at our case and see what's going on. And at the end of their time, they said, no, we're not going to concede. Lawsuits on. Took Universal to court over it. They ended up winning the court case because they found a prior, I guess it's all old now, but a prior case where Universal had defended themselves in a lawsuit saying that King Kong was public domain. Because
Burn!
Because they adapted what was a public domain works. So they got out of some lawsuit against themselves by saying, no, public domain, we just used it respectively or whatever the requirements are. And so Nintendo brought that to court and said, here you go, judge. Here's what they did before. King Kong is public domain. Judge immediately threw their case out, naturally. It was
nice.
and then reverse sued Universal, and they had to turn over $1.8 million, $1980.
Who reverse sued them?
Nintendo did. Nintendo reversed it. The judge took it up, and then Universal had to pay $1.8 million, $1980, to Nintendo and pay back all the money it had bullied. It had been bullying other companies. The same thing over Donkey Kong affiliated licensing, the branding and merchandising. They went after everybody, and they had to pay back everybody in a libel suit. Which I thought was awesome. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's fun. Billionaires chasing billionaires, but
yeah,
that was kind of fun. They're both still around. It wasn't that bad. And $1.8 million really isn't that much money.
Even then, for a company like that, like Universal, it's a lot of money.
International film and digital development conglomerates. Yeah, they were. That sucks. Do you take cash? All right. Number one, you guys both guessed Mario.
We
originally,
both guessed
of course.
Mario.
Yes, we were wrong.
You've taken on a side guess of sports, and that's also incorrect. Yeah. So
not the Madden or the EA Sports.
Yeah, you felt
franchise.
serious about it. I felt like, I don't know. I don't think so.
That's all right. So I also asked this question in Discord, and one of our listeners, Claytor, you were right. So it is Pokemon. Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise
Pokemon
of all time. Tripling the
90
Mario
million,
franchise.
90 billion?
$90 billion on Pokemon.
Crap, man.
Yep.
That makes sense, though, because it appeals to so many age ranges.
In so many different ways and variations.
And there's so many different products, and I'm sure Josh is going to tell us all about it.
That's my plan, yeah.
But we can just carry on, Ron.
There's entire Pokemon stores in every major city in Japan. So my parents, when they lived in Japan, they went into a couple of them just to see what they could find for us, because I play Pokemon. And they do a thing in most of the stores, the two that they went to, apparently it's most of the stores, where on the hour, they're just a big chime and music and there's a bunch of excitement and they just pick a random customer and they give them a prize. So my dad has some like limited release Pikachu that's asleep. It's like a pillow that he's just kept in the plastic that he's got in a box from Japan because it's just, you could only get them as an hourly prize at the Pokemon stores in Tokyo. That particular one only in Tokyo. So
That's cool.
So he's got like some super valuable Pokemon merchandise that they went in there to give me something and they wouldn't even give me the fucking Pikachu.
Look at Josh gonna lose.
No,
I would have given it to my dog.
He's
I don't know.
He's all sour about it.
No, I think it's super cool. They got me other really cool stuff.
I wouldn't know a Pokemon from any other fucking Japanese.
So you don't know
toy.
much.
I do not know
I know
anything
what
about the
Pikachu.
universe.
That's not true. You'd recognize Pikachu a half mile away.
Why
Without
should
a
you
doubt.
not go?
Is he yellow?
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
I
yellow
might
mouse.
know Pikachu then.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
Why
That's just their branding.
look,
That's
I'm
their main-
learning. Give me a second. Let me think of the name of this My Little Pony. Starlight Unicorn.
My Little
no,
Pony.
Starlight.
So
Fuck, I forget the name of it. But there's one that both of my daughters absolutely love, and that is they're huge My Little Pony people. I mean, of course, they like all sorts of little toys, but that one I would recognize. Starlight Sprinkle.
Well, why should you not go into the
I can't
bathroom?
remember.
Why should you not go into the bathroom with a Pokemon?
I don't know.
Because it might Pikachu. Yes, definitely.
Okay,
Josh
so
laughed.
let's talk about some
He
Pokemon
laughed
facts.
at the fail. The bomb is what he laughed at.
He liked it.
I like the dad jokes, man.
He liked the dad joke.
I'm at that stage in my life. So in 2008,
Pokemon fans inside Discord. Just saying.
nice. Well, who's on Discord duty tonight?
Well, they're
I don't know.
commenting on it. So one of our listeners put, I was really into Pokemon Go predecessor Ingress.
Its predecessor was a game called Ingress, which I also played. It's fucking awesome.
And then another one said, some of our people at work pay way too much monthly for Pokemon Go.
Nice.
I drove my daughter
Speaking of microtransactions, is that?
I drove my
that counts.
daughter all the way to Orlando one time just to play Pokemon Go in random
She
places.
go on a raid?
Really?
No, just to go find different Pokemon and stuff
That's
like
awesome.
that.
I think it's super
Yeah,
cool.
it was
got-
so back in its heyday, back when it's really hot.
It's a really fancy version of geocaching.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's a really fancy
It was
version.
fun though because we actually did see she did actually capture some characters that she had never captured in Brevard.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
There's
Yeah,
regional,
so-
there's country locked Pokemon. Yeah, so like they had like a huge problem. Kids like breaking into places to get closer. That's the one thing that it does have on geocaching as a comparison is there's also interaction in the world. So when you catch the Pokemon, it's changed so much, but you can do things with them. You can fight with them and put them. You can find like gym trainers, which is something from the Pokemon world, or gyms, not trainers, but you can like beat the Pokemon that are there and put your own Pokemon in place, and they'll defend the gym, and it's a whole.
I think there's
It's the whole
some.
thing.
I think NASA made a big deal about it. There's something out here at the Space Center as part of that game that's unique. You
I
can only
believe
get
that.
at Kennedy Space Center in
There's
Florida.
shit like in the middle of the ocean like that hardly anyone will ever, if anyone will ever be able to get. They got shit like everywhere.
It's a Kraken.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like really rare Pokemon and like some on top of some mountain and shit like
a
that.
whale lord out in the middle of
Yeah.
the ocean or something.
Sorry.
So some other random stuff. 2008, Japanese scientists discovered a flexible or agile protein in the eye. They named it Pikachuin. Pikachurin.
I was wondering where you were going with this tie-in.
Like what is he? What is going on?
They discovered so completely unrelated to Pokemon, but they discovered some new protein in the eye that they named it Pikachurin as a fan service or as in service as fans. Other direction, weird. There was an island in the South Pacific called
Bikini Atoll.
Niue.
Sorry.
And they printed currency with Pikachu on it. Official island currency
Oh,
with
that's
Pikachu.
pretty
on it.
awesome.
So limited run, but it's like proper in circulation. Pikachu and Meowth. Pikachu being the electric mouse type Pokemon, Meowth being the money cat type Pokemon, were 52 and 25 in the Pokedex on purpose because it's cat and mouse and they're the opposites of each other.
But
But let's see.
I don't get it.
Pokemon jokes. I don't get them either.
No. I mean,
I get it.
they're just.
Yeah, I understand.
But
what
that
you
was
said.
why they did it. It wasn't even really a joke. That was just a fact about the entries in the Pokedex. Money, order. Oh, so the original games came out, Pokemon Red and Blue, and then they had Pokemon Gold. These are all Game Boy games in the early days, Game Boy Advance games. And then after that, there was a release of games that was Gold and Silver, and these were just, I mean, they weren't reskins of the game, but they were just like just new games in the same world, new lore. But the CEO said that was it, Gold and Silver. Nobody's going to want to play Pokemon anymore once the 21st century hits. So they started like moving away from Pokemon and taking funding from not in a bad way, just like, all right, it's done. Let's reallocate this money elsewhere. And they almost moved away from Pokemon. But then Gold and Silver were a wild success. And obviously here we are today. They're still releasing Pokemon games. I just bought a Pokemon game like 3 weeks ago. Brand new game.
That's one thing I've never purchased.
Pokemon what?
Snap.
Okay.
What?
It was so it originally came out on the Nintendo 64, and the way the game works is you're in like this super uber safe bubble car thing. It's a car, it's a ball, whatever. And you're on a track and you're going through these wildlife environments, a la Jurassic Park, we'll say, before everything went off the rails. So just like going around and you're just taking pictures. And that's really simplifying it, but it's a really like non-aggressive way to interact with Pokemon. It was like a kid-friendly game to just
snap pictures
of them. Well, they They released a new version of the game that's massively extended over the original. It just came out for Switch, and I get to play with AJ. It's awesome. My 3-year-old loves it.
Oh, that's cool.
So we sit and play.
I anticipate. I completely anticipate that Pokemon is going to become a thing for our girls, but it just has not hit yet. They have not found interest in it yet.
Most of my kids love like a 16-year-old girl, 20-year-old boy or son.
You have to think about it.
No, it's just a matter of saying son versus boy versus man, whatever, you know. And they both love Pokemon. Like I think my son this past Christmas, he still has a Nintendo. He uses a 2DS because he doesn't like 3D. And I believe this last Christmas, I had to go on like eBay and find a Pokemon game for him that he wanted that he had never gotten.
Yeah, I like them. It's simple enough for a 10-year-old to play and enjoy, and there's enough depth and complexity in the competitive scene to really like have adults competing at a world-class level. I have a shirt our friend Casey gave me from the World Championship she went to for work. She got a bunch of swag and stuff. She gave me a t-shirt. So
That's one of the main things that she does for IGN, right? Is work the Pokemon stuff.
It's one of her top franchises that she's on. She's that and Monster Hunter are two things.
By the way, I remember the name. I had to look it up. The one that I would recognize is Twilight Sparkle, My Little Pony.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, that would be the one that I would recognize.
Yeah, friendship is magic, man.
I don't know what that means, but
that's the name of the show that Twilight Sparkles is from.
Oh.
My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
Oh, okay, I know the character.
I also have a kid that's into My Little Pony. The main character in Pokemon for American audiences is Ash Ketchum. That's his name. But in the Japanese version, his name is Satoshi, and that is an homage.
Satoshi can't catch him.
To Satoshi Tajiri. Steamroll right over that one.
Did I not give myself?
Who was the head of Game Freak, the company that made Pokemon? Oh. So he's named after the head of the original company. So yeah, that is 10 of the highest grossing game franchises of all time.
I really would have expected EA or Madden franchise at least to be up there.
They were in the teens.
Were they?
They were no doubt in the teens.
Okay.
Yeah. There's just...
So they beat World of Warcraft, but World of Warcraft took...
Were there any games that...
took the 10th spot.
World
of Warcraft was only 10 billion.
No, I'm sorry, in the teens, like placement-wise, under World of Warcraft.
Oh, copy.
Yeah. Were you surprised? Was there any games you expected to see on this list that were like, wow, it didn't make it? Like Adam, he was really expecting
I would not have
EA
expected
Sports
Pokemon to be in the top 10. Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't surprise me at all. I just forgot about it.
I would have expected Minecraft to be on the list.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But it's the top grossing game of all time. but not as a franchise.
Not
it
as a
has not made the
franchise.
list yet.
Okay.
So Mojang Studios is definitely making bank off of Minecraft, but franchise hasn't topped.
I'll say again, 20 and 16-year-old, I see them both many times still playing Minecraft.
Yeah. I mean, I love the concept of Minecraft, and I cannot wait to kind of point my kids towards it because it's digital Legos. I want them to play. I want that for them. Go play with blocks. I don't give a shit. And I don't have to buy 1 billion overpriced Legos. Just buy you a $20, game.
Dad, spot on. 100%.
Yeah.
Good fucking list though, dude. That was very, so, I don't know, eye-opening because a lot of those things I didn't know. Well, probably about 2/3 of your list I knew.
Yeah, I love facts from
The other ones I had
games
no
that
idea.
I've played but had no idea about, especially like the lawsuit with the Mario and the King Kong or versus Donkey Kong kind of thing. Thought that was interesting.
There's another one too, and I won't repeat the specifics, but Pac-Man, another part of his original naming was geared towards a very modern, unacceptable stereotype towards women. Yeah. So we have a little bit more freedom in the after show.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll talk. And then
All right.
I'll be happy to share it there, but yeah, not on the regular show because it was like I read it and I was like, hell no. And then Margaret asked me what I was reading. I said that out loud.
By the way, he plugged it for us. We're going to touch on it. The after show, if you're interested in becoming a council member, which we've got a few of them listening in our Discord live stream tonight. But if you're interested in becoming a Discord council member, hop over to twisted10.com. Patreon. See, I'm fucking that all up. I can't do the plugs. I should just leave this with you, Josh. Head to patreon.com/twisted10. Check out the different tiers that we've got in there. Become a council member, and you can listen to our after shows where we publish all of our after shows. And we've got, 20 or 5 or 30 in there at this point. So, yeah, be sure to go check that out. Also, go to twisted10.com. At the bottom of the page is our Discord link. You don't have to, buy anything for that. It's free. You can hop into Discord with us anytime you want. Listen to the live stream during the show's recording live, so you get it before it's released that next Monday. What else we plug?
And if you could go and please rate, review,
subscribe.
Yeah, there you go.
All
That's
those
the 3
things.
words.
You'll get there.
We appreciate that. That honestly helps us get more traction, which gets more visibility. I know everybody asked for it, and that's because it actually helps us as creators. So it's a no cost, just a couple minutes of your time. We would appreciate that.
100%. Are you guys ready to get out of here?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go do the after show.
All right, that sounds good.
I got piss.
Well, good fucking show tonight,
bad.
Josh.
Thank you.
Again, some surprises. No twists, but some surprises. I guess it was a twist ending. I would never have got Pokemon. But yeah, good fucking list. Who's got it next week?
Thank you.
Oh, it's back to me again, isn't it? Because you had a 2-week.
And then it's me.
We got Adam, and then we got Ron.
All
And he's apparently been dropping hints for weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see about that. All right, well, thank you guys for listening. On behalf of the Twisted 10, I'm Adam.
I'm Ron.
And
Josh.
to our show host,
I'm Josh.
thanks for listening, guys. We will catch up with you later. We're going to do the after show.